All right, guys. So this week we are going to review the brand new adaptation of Stephen King's Firestarter. This is Firestarter 2022, which was on Peacock in theaters. Yada yada yada. So I'll give you a little synopsis if you don't know what it's about. So a couple desperately tries to hide their daughter Charlie from a shadowy federal agency that wants to harness her gift for turning fire into a weapon of mass destruction. Her father taught her how to defuse her power, but once Charlie turned 11, the fire became harder and harder to control. When a mysterious operative finally finds the family, he tries to seize Charlie once and for all, but she has other plans.
Whoa, bro! You just spoiled the whole movie.
It's a synopsis, bro. Directed by Keith Thomas. Cast is Zac Efron, as y'all must have seen. He's probably the biggest person in marketing for it. As
Smash.
Andy McGee, Ryan Kiara Armstrong. I'm sorry if I said your name wrong. As Charlie, of course, and then Sydney Lemon as the wife, Victoria. So where do y'all want to begin with this? This is non-spoiler review, so if y'all want spoilers, make sure y'all tune in a little bit later, a couple minutes later. But we're gonna start with non-spoilers. So
We're doing
let's start with you, Anthony. Give your take on this movie and give us a con first.
nets and negatives.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, overall, I thought the movie was really enjoyable. I thought it was interesting. It had.
I'm sorry. We said start with cons, and then you started with the
Well, he said
positive,
the
and then I
overall.
started chuckling.
He said
I
overall
said,
and a con.
yeah, I said give his take and then give
Sorry.
a con.
So just
My
shut up
brain's checked
and
out.
sit back.
I
Thank
I
you.
couldn't help but chuckle, but I
It's
didn't want to
it's
discourage
okay.
But
you because
I
you
did.
didn't say anything
I thought
wrong.
it was really enjoyable, and I'd probably watch it again at some point, not for a while. But the one main problem I had with it is that there was no background explanation to anything. Like there
Mm-hmm.
was no like you didn't know what was going on. You didn't know the background of how they got the powers, who the government people were, like why they wanted them. They didn't explain anything in the
Yes, I
movie.
agree.
Like, you were just like there.
Yes,
Like
they
you
did explain
I
though.
feel like this was a sequel to a movie that was never made.
That doesn't exist. Yeah, that's a good
That makes sense.
I thought they
good way to put it.
I thought they gave you a pretty decent. They're like, mom, dad, science experiments. They had kid. Kid has powers stronger than mom, dad. Now government wants all of them.
I don't. I feel like it was not just that though. It was like the
I
entire
agree that
movie.
it.
I constantly had questions that I'm like, okay, why didn't they explain this before? Or like, why don't I know more about this specific topic? It was the whole
Yeah,
movie. It was like different things throughout the entire thing where I just
I,
kept questioning like what was going on.
I'll,
yeah,
I'll
that's
I'll
fair. I,
I'll slip into
there's
one of
just
my cons because it goes off of you and it might help you a little better with what you're saying. I think it's because the characters, none of them had little to like no development.
Yeah.
I
So it felt like we didn't even know them. We weren't connected with them. No background. We just
yeah.
didn't know
I
anything
Can I
about
say
them
real
really.
quick? The one character with the best development and with the best emotional connection in the movie, and probably one of my favorite characters, was the old man.
What the fuck?
Y'all know who I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Why did his
I
the
character
think
have
old
so.
more
farmer.
depth?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
why did
yeah,
his
yeah,
character have more depth than the main characters?
yeah. You tell me, dude. That's not a big spoiler, like at all. You just know there's a farmer.
The farmer.
yeah.
But all right, Edward, what do you got for us? What's your take on the movie, and give us a con. If you can limit
Man,
yourself to one.
fuck this movie.
Eh,
I'm sorry if you guys wasted a movie ticket when you could have just stayed at home and watched it on Peacock.
You're still paying for Peacock.
That's
This is
fair.
one of those things where if you have Peacock, go ahead
Watch.
and watch it,
Yeah.
but it's not worth your time, and it's definitely not worth the movie ticket. And if you have to go out of your way because you think you want to buy Peacock just to watch this movie, don't
Don't.
fucking do it.
Yeah, don't do that. I
Um,
I don't fully agree. Like for me personally, I would watch this in a movie. I just if you were to watch it in the theaters, don't expect a lot. It's just kind of there to kill an hour of your time. It's enjoyable, but it's
well,
nothing like big. It's nothing
hear me
special.
out. So the reasons that you would want to watch it in a movie theater would be for the cinematography, so you can see the visual effects on a big screen and like
Yeah.
as high definition as you can. This had the shittiest cinematography I've seen in a modern movie. The image quality looked like it was one of our short films shot in like a dim ass room.
What?
Like there were
I thought it was
parts of the
good.
movie that I like paused it, rewinded, and I thought my TV was just blurry, but like the background was just as grainy as like the background of some of our webcams. And I was like, bro, what the fuck am I watching right now? The color palette was really dull. Like there was no bright color. Like even the fire that's supposed to be bright illumination light, it was fucking dull. Like there was no color in the fire. Like it was just a bright light. Um,
None of
and
that
like
bothered me. I liked all that
and
actually.
the
I enjoyed.
parts where it was like actual CGI flames, not just them like slapping heat gel on their actor and actually lighting them on fire for practical fire effects. The actual CGI effects stuck out like a sore thumb, and it didn't look good. Like it looked like something I could do in After Effects in an hour. Um, and that's my take on
That's your
the
take.
spoiler-free take. Yeah.
Um. Oh, what do I? I'll just say this is a very, 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 very underwhelming film that feels like wasn't there was no vision for it at all. I haven't read the books, so I can't say like exactly what it was supposed to be adapted from, but like Anthony said, little to no background, little to no development in the characters. Little to no anything really. There's nothing compelling about this film that even sticks out to me like at all. Not one
Yeah,
thing.
I don't know. I disagree. I thought the story was really interesting and compelling. Like
What story, bro?
the whole thing of like she has superpowers and she's like running away from these government people and she's like learning to use them. I
Mm-hmm.
thought it was
But do
interesting.
you know how many better examples there are of that
Yeah,
exact
but
story?
I'm not
Like
comparing
this
it.
is like
I'm
the
not
worst
comparing it to other
example of
movies.
this that you could get.
I'm reviewing it as a movie by itself.
Standalone.
Yeah, and as a standalone movie, it doesn't stand up to anything that's being made currently or in the past. It's better than the original, but the original was already considered one of the worst Stephen King movies.
I thought it was good. I
Any,
enjoyed it.
I would not recommend.
I would not recommend. I would not recommend, but unless you want a snooze fest, to be honest, my opinion, my humble opinion. Anthony, do you recommend? Do you think they should give it a watch?
I'd recommend it.
It is a short watch, though. To be fair, so
It's a short one that feels like it takes forever, though.
that's fair. I did get pretty bored. I would pause it and then look at my
I
phone.
fell asleep, had to get up, make food, come back, rewind it, and then finish watching it.
All right, Anthony. So we're gonna get into pros, and I want you to start because I want you to explain what you loved about this movie.
I
We're in spoilers now, right?
no.
No, this is
Oh,
still.
well, why did I just wrap up the spoiler free?
No.
I don't know. I'm
I
sorry.
feel like I was about to say I thought we all gave our full opinions. Did you have a pro you wanted to talk about, Noah?
No.
I felt Anthony gave what he liked about it, though spoiler
Do you
free.
want to just go spoilers?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we are going into the spoiler territory of this movie. If you have seen it, y'all can go ahead. If you haven't seen it, you can still go ahead. If you want to learn about this movie and what we fully think about it, like in depth spoilers. But if not, then we will see y'all next week. Say out of your mom for us, and make sure if you're on YouTube, subscribe, like the video. If you're on any podcast, give us a rating, 5 stars, and
Yeah.
leave a review. And make sure to follow us on all of our socials at underscore the Hooligan Hangout underscore. And yeah, look at our new dad hats on merch.streamelements.com and in the bio of our Instagram.
Yep. Coming out the exact same day as this podcast.
I don't have anything positive, so I think Anthony should start with positive.
No, that's fair. I don't have anything positive either.
Okay, I have one thing that is like remotely positive, but I'm just gonna play off of you, Anthony. So I do agree with you. I think Zac Efron is underrated, but however, in my opinion, this is one of his worst performances he's had, and he should fire his agency. To be honest with you,
What? Wait,
he
why?
really
I
should.
agree.
because his agency should not have given him such a shit role. They should have found
Why,
something better
why do
for
you
him.
think it's his worst performance though? I feel
Dude,
like he did.
when you
Dude,
compare this, Anthony, compare this to The Greatest Showman, compare this to that Ted
Baywatch,
Bundy, yeah,
anything.
Baywatch. Compare him
Yeah,
to the Ted Bundy one he did. You can't tell me this isn't his worst one.
that is true. But he still did really good in this one.
He didn't do good. He was just the best out of all the shit.
I think
Good.
he also got shit writing though. To be fair,
Yeah.
Oh, dude, yeah, that's part of it. But the other part of it, I don't want to say it was his acting. I want to say it was on the director for being retarded and asking for stupid shit.
yeah, like he. How do you expect him to act in certain situations? But I'll go right into the cons with that, Anthony. I felt each of the actors were incredibly over dramatic, which resulted
Mm-hmm.
in very bad performances.
You want to know my specific note for this?
I did not
What?
know.
Dog shit acting.
That's it.
Slash dialogue is way too forced.
And
And I wrote that during the scene where the mom is running from the assassin. So that was like right in the
oh
fucking beginning
Lord,
of the movie when I wrote that shit.
don't get me started on that. Don't get me started on that part. So
Wait,
that's my big con.
I have a con. I don't know if it's a con. It's a question, and if y'all answer it, then it's not a con. Well, no, I take it back. I was gonna ask what exactly was his powers, but I guess it's the ability to like control what people see and think.
It's like telepathy kind of.
I feel
Nope,
like
he just
his
had
stuff
straight
only
up
works.
telepathy like the mom, and that was it.
I feel like it only works sometimes.
It only
I
works
feel like he
sometimes.
didn't fucking use it at all.
Like what
Like,
specific? Because there were certain instances where it didn't work, but like there was a reason.
okay, what were the reasons? I don't remember.
Well, for
Exactly.
he tried doing it on those like special operatives, and they had contacts on or something in their head, and they were like, "Oh,
Okay,
nice
what
try,
about
buddy."
the first time when he was fighting the guy in his house?
That dude has telepathy too, so he's probably has a more hardened mind.
So he's like powerless, basically. So he's like weak.
Yeah, but also remember when they were in the facility and his eyes bleed when he uses it because there's like fucking tumors in his head from using it so much.
That's fair. He probably was strong at one point. And then her power, she has more than just fire, but they didn't.
Yes, she does have more than just fire.
But
That's
I feel
strange.
like they didn't really say that. They just kind of like, oh yeah, she also has this.
Can I say another flaw I had, or no? You don't go around.
Anthony, did you have anything else?
Um,
It related to Anthony's. That's why I'm asking.
yeah, go ahead.
I
Yeah,
was
go
just
ahead with your other one. I still have a lot, so.
gonna say in regards to the girl. Yeah, so I thought the whole arc with her from the beginning was gonna be her learning to control her powers and use it for like not killing people, like being good, and
But she ended up
that
killing.
wasn't like that at all. But that wasn't my issue. My issue was the way like he kept saying you need to control your power, you need to control it, and she kept following. She's like, okay, okay, okay. But then towards the middle of the film, she does a 180, and all of a sudden she's like, actually, I'm gonna kill these guys. Actually, I
Yeah.
think it's okay to kill.
It's not
Actually, I'm
even the
not gonna
middle of the
listen.
Ooh,
film. It's
okay.
literally just the last 10 minutes.
Let me. Okay. I one of your cons was like the writing. They had bad writing, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm terrible at recognizing that in movies. You will almost never hear me call out good writing or bad writing in a movie because I like never catch on to that. That's just not something that I, realize,
Well,
when I'm
for for live action movies at least. I mean, obviously animation is a little. I feel like animation movies are a little bit, a little, a
No,
little bit.
they're not.
Yeah, I was like, no, never mind. But I feel like movies like this, you just got to see. You got to say it back to yourself. Like you got to see, is this realistic? Would someone say this?
right. And I don't know. I could probably recognize it more if I like really tried, but just 90% of the times when I'm watching movies, that's just not something that I
Bro,
look for or I
how do
find.
you not notice the shitty writing
It,
whenever
it's like
the key like tagline in the
Well,
movie
okay,
is
let me finish.
liar, liar,
So
pants on
I'm just telling you,
fire.
that's just not something that I find in movies. That's just me. Okay. Like,
Anthony. If you want some,
I know y'all are all okay. Anyways, but this is one of the movies where there is one scene that I'm just like, who the fuck wrote this? I was
what scene? What scene? We have to know.
It's when she was in the back of the car acting like a full-grown man.
Oh yeah.
The lady. I'm like, dude, you're 10 years old. What are you doing talking like this?
she's like, where's my dad? If you don't talk, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, you're 10. I didn't
What the fuck she say? She like half baked him, and she said, "Oh, put you out of your misery."
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, she just remembers. You got to finish the job now. He's suffering.
I
Holy
don't
shit!
Which, by the
just
way, was
it
also
was
the
just the
most
way she was
retarded fucking scene
speaking.
I've ever seen in my life. Like,
I was gonna tell you,
I like
Anthony,
that scene,
if
but I
you
just don't like the writing.
if you really want practice recognizing bad writing, just watch the Star Wars prequels. They're like super notorious for bad writing and dialogue. Just watch them, and you'll see exactly
no, you just
how
got
you
to
should
rewatch
recognize
this
it.
movie and listen to her say "liar, liar, pants on fire."
Oh,
You
that was bad. Yeah. I was like, what the heck?
That
liar,
was might have been the
liar.
dumbest shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
The score in this movie was really overbearing, unoriginal, and not great.
Really, I thought it was. I
And
did not.
my
I didn't.
issue was John Carpenter and his son wrote this score.
Mm-hmm.
So it sounded just like the Halloween soundtrack.
It did.
But that
Yes,
was my whole issue is it sounded just like the Halloween soundtrack.
it had
There
undertones
wasn't
of the Halloween soundtrack.
they used the same instrument and like the same
Mm-hmm.
chords as the Halloween soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
They just slightly changed up the melody. And I mean like very slightly. And to me it just came off as very unoriginal, uninspired, and they just kind of half-assed this shit as like a favor to the director.
Now, I did think it was unoriginal, but I also thought the score was the best part of the movie. It's not saying a lot at all. I'm not saying it's like that great. I'm just saying
That's funny.
because it reminds me of Halloween. Yeah, I enjoy it.
So this note is the only note that I had like taken from other movie reviewers, and it reminds me like Stranger Things is heavily inspired by Stephen King's horror movies and stuff, and The Boys is a very similar storyline to evil corporation giving kids superpowers and then tracking them down and using them for bad stuff. And both of those gave you 80, 90, 200% better
Or
story
mm-hmm.
than this one, and they basically revolve around the same things. Uh, I, I, I'm just going down my list of notes here. This note I literally wrote: "Why the fuck teach the daughter to control her powers by burning cats alive?"
It was an accident, bro.
That might have been the stupidest shit that I have ever witnessed. Where they're like, "Oh no, you can't use your powers to hurt things, but since you hurt that thing, just go ahead and finish it off." Like, what the fuck kind of message do you fucking
I
send
thought
to your kids like that?
I thought of that as more of like there are gonna be times where your powers are gonna might hurt people sometimes, and like in the case that it hurts somebody like this bad, you're gonna just have to.
Well,
It's
see,
better to
and
finish them. You know what I
and
mean?
I would take the scene like that if the literal words out of his mouth were not the polar fucking opposite story. The
What is
literal words out of his mouth as it happened were, "You can't use your power to hurt people because when you hurt people like that, you hurt their families and their loved ones too, not just them. So promise me you won't hurt people. Now go ahead and finish it off since you already heard it." Like, what the fuck is that?
It's true.
I want you to break your promise, Charlie.
It's fucking retarded.
Dude, did
Uh,
you did y'all notice too that when the mother died, she like grieved for like one scene and then like they were all good?
the mother's
Yeah.
death might have been the stupidest thing I've ever seen too. Like that whole fight scene was literally her running, shutting doors behind herself, screaming, and then getting her head popped. And they didn't even kill her on screen in a rated R movie.
Nope, they did not.
The only reason this movie was rated R because they showed a dead cat and that was it.
And then the villain was like her brother or some shit like that. Was I getting that wrong?
I'm not there yet.
I might have been confused, but I okay.
Let me get there in my notes. We'll get there. We're working there slowly. The next note I put was laughable training montage. You mean to tell me in like a 30-minute training montage where the only thing she accomplishes is being able to light a campfire, from that she goes to automatically being able to use her powers precisely?
Dude, I forgot about that scene.
Not to mention, they don't even show her practicing her using her dad's push ability, which
Mm.
they only hinted at her having. He just literally said, "If you have your mom's, you probably have mine." That was it. That was the only allusion that they gave to it. And then the first time she uses it, she does it perfectly. No consequences. She's just like, "Give me your bike. Give me your sandwich. Give me your fucking clothes."
Give me your fucking clothes.
And that was it. Like it was literally like a 2-minute montage of her lighting shit on fire and being like, "Well, I can do whatever I want now." And then she goes and burns someone alive, who was just talking about having a family. Before her dad gives her permission to break the promise, might I add. Uh,
Oh, you're right. You're right.
I put the assassin side plot fucking stupid. Uh, they said, you killed your mom, which makes you now her uncle, which means you're her brother.
Did I?
Yeah, I'm her brother. Yeah, that means I killed my mom.
I don't
I don't
Oh,
give
remember
a
any
fuck.
of that. What the heck?
see, yeah, exactly. That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say I thought it was that he was her brother, but I don't understand how. Like, it's just the age gap's so freaking weird.
Why would her brother look older than her fucking parents?
That's what I'm saying. It's weird.
I think it was like a metaphorical brother, as in like they're all related by their powers,
Powers.
experimenting some shit.
Oh,
Uh,
dude, the line that made me cringe so hard was when she went to the facility and the main leader of the facility was like, "You're like a real life superhero."
yeah, no, that
I
triggered
was
me.
like, "Bro,
Uh,
bro."
and then my final note was, what the fuck was the villain's plan though? Question mark.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
It was because like at the very end, she got her in the facility. She was holding her dad hostage, and then she was like, "Huh, I need you to stay here, or else you're not gonna burn your dad, right?" She's like, "No, you know I'm crazy. I'm just gonna burn my dad." And she was like, "Oh, you
Technically,
are?"
her dad
Uh,
did it himself.
Wait, what?
well, yeah, the dad did kind of burn himself, but at the same time, like, I was this like supposed like genius, like leader of a evil organization, not gonna have a backup plan for if
Yeah.
she actually decides to burn the father, knowing full well that this kid is fucking crazy and like has the potential to snap at any moment.
He's just that good, my brother.
Um,
Yeah. I don't know. I don't
yeah,
know.
that I
The
think
plan
that
was.
about wraps
All right.
up my
You got any
my,
pros,
my
Anthony? Because I
priorities.
don't.
I already talked about him.
Uh,
That's it
I
then.
don't I don't have any.
Okay, that's it. What are y'all's? I want to start with you, Anthony. What's your rating? Just because you're the one that's like most deferred from us.
I'll give it a 5.
All right, I'll take it. I was
Because
about to say
I was gonna give it a 6, but
that would have pissed me off too. Because I was about to say, if you give this fucking a 7 again, I will lose my shit, bro.
no, it
I,
wasn't.
Okay.
I thought you were about to drop the 7 bomb, and you were like trying so hard not to laugh because you knew I was gonna say something about it.
Nah. You do you, Anthony. This is why we all have
The fact
opinions.
that Anthony gave it a 5 honestly says a lot because it takes a lot for him to drop a movie that hard.
Yeah, but anything below a 6 for me is like pretty bad.
He's a very loving movie critic. Are we still doing? What's the
Point
lowest you can
five.
go? Yeah. What's the lowest you
0.
can go? You can say 0.
Yeah,
I'm
I said 0 before.
gonna give this a 0.
How do you give it a 0?
Thank
Dude,
you so much.
in my opinion, there's just nothing redeeming about this. There's no reason to even watch this movie because from like nothing happens that you can go cut they take out from the movie, in my opinion, and be like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool in this movie. Like you should watch. In my
Thank
opinion,
you. Because I was also going to give it a 0, but I would have felt bad if I gave it anything other than that
I
if
feel
you
like
guys
to
didn't.
have a 0, you can't like the music, you can't like the special effects, you can't like the actors, you can't like literally anything.
okay,
Yeah,
I'll
that's literally what I put
You
in my
can't have
notes.
any pros for it. Or
okay,
if
I
it's a
don't
0,
have any
you can
pros.
have a pro.
I'll give it a 0.5 because I did say that I thought the score was all right.
I literally put in my notes bad
No,
cinematography, dog shit acting, dialogues force,
I think you
uh,
gave Last Days of
music is
American Crime a
overbearing,
higher score.
unoriginal, and bad.
Say it again, Anthony.
I think you gave Last Days of American Crime a higher score.
I probably did because it's a better movie.
Damn.
And with that, we have an average on the Hoolometer of 1.8, which is our lowest to date.
That's crazy.
If you think about it.
Deserves it. Fuck this movie. Waste of time. All right, and on that note, ladies and gentlemen, if you did enjoy our commentary, be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you're listening on YouTube. If you're watching on anything other than that, give us a 5-star rating. Let us know in the Spotify poll what you guys thought of the movie as well. Compare your notes to ours. If you guys thought you enjoyed it a little bit more than we did, let us know because we're always happy to hear you guys' opinion. And on top of that, if you're listening to this right now, we got brand new hats dropping for the first time ever. Get your certified hooligan hangout beanies, snapbacks, dad hats, baseball. Well, dad hats and baseball caps are the same thing. Trucker hats, all of the above. We have them. Check it out. Really cool designs, really cool colors. Merch slash. Wait, I fucking forgot the fucking link. Merch.streamelements.com / the Hooligan Hangout. Check us out on all our social medias at the Hooligan Hangout. And as always, say hi to your moms for us.
Of course, of course.